This video will show you how to create an LE code pack. So to get started, what we'll need to do is to make sure that we create a Wii Homebrew Forms account. This is to log into winfi.de. Now, when you log into winfi, you'll want to go into list custom regions, and you want to have a look at for some regions for your pack. This is to ensure that you can play online. Afterwards, I'd recommend downloading the Code Manager Reborn by CLF. This is just in case if you want to add any custom codes that are not included in LE code, as well as to make sure you download Weem's SLS tools. Weem's SLS tools will require a reboot if you have not downloaded it before. If you are updating Weem's SLS tools, you do not need to restart your computer. So let's get started. Now I've already made a folder called TrackPack. Inside it, we'll have Revolution and the folder for our pack. We'll come back to that in a second. And I have a folder for all the LE code things that we need. So to start things off, we want to define our lecode.bins with a config file. Now, this is basically the same as how CT code does it, with some added features, such as the Weem cup and LE flags, as well as track variations. Now, the Weem cup will be on screen. This is the random option that Weem's Mario Kart Fun has, which has been added to LE code. Now the first cup is, or the first track slot is the random all tracks, so it can pick literally any track. Random Nintendo tracks. This will just choose any track from the original 32 tracks from Mario Kart Wii. Random custom tracks will only choose custom tracks, and then the bottom one, that's for you to decide on what you want to do with that. So if you watched my CT code tutorial video from a while ago, you'll kind of know what's going on here. So this is how we define a cup. We just got a C for cup, the cup name, which really doesn't matter because I don't believe that even displays in game, and the cup number. T is the track, and H is hidden track. That's partly how you set up hidden track variants. Now, this first ID is the music slot ID. So this is the fourth cup and the second track, which is Movie Highway. This is the track slot ID. Now, with music slot IDs, you can use literally any music slot ID you want, including battle tracks and even tracks like Galaxy Coliseum. Track slot IDs, I recommend just sticking to the original 32 tracks. Here is the LE flag. This is how we set up hidden tracks. So if you want to do hidden track, you'll need one to be set to 0x04. And for the hidden tracks, you want them set to be 2. Now here is a 50% chance that it will choose Royal Rainbow, and a 50% chance it'll choose We Play We Tanks. Now, if you set it to 1, this will use the final track in the Weem Cup. This first string of text is the file name. This is so that when we use Weem's SLS tools, it will rename the SLS files to the correct ID. Because LE code uses IDs, you will need to provide the Nintendo tracks as well as battle tracks to ensure that it does not crash, because LE code has no way of disabling Nintendo tracks. And this last string of text is the BMGs. This is how we can also use Weem's SLS tools to start the BMGs. Once you've got that all set up, make sure you open up command prompt and type in lect patch LE code the bin file. And to do -le -define in the config. This is how we patch the bin files. Now, if you want to get the start the BMGs, we'll come to the distribution tutorial wiki page. I recommend you looking at this if you're confused about anything. So we'll go down to here and we'll copy this command. And we will change this to the correct file name, so config. Now, basically what this does is this basically creates a text file with all the IDs that you need for the BMGs. To set this up, make sure you have a menu single underscore any language. I use menu single underscore E because I'm PAL. You want to go into message. You want to export the common. We're going to open up Williams SLS tools. Well, command prompt. And then we're going to use Williams SLS tools to decode the common file or the common.bmg into a text file. You open up the text file, scroll all the way down, and at the bottom here is where you can paste everything from here. So starting with the ID of 6,800, you literally just copy and paste it in here. You save, and then what we do is we encode the txt file. You do -O if you want to overwrite any files. Once that's done, you can open up your mini single and replace the common. And that's how we set up the BMGs. Now, to set up the track, the SLS, what we want to do is we need to make sure we copy the bin and the config. Put it into our track folder. In here, I have all the Nintendo tracks and the custom tracks that I want to use. So make sure you have another folder called test, because this is how we're going to rename the SLSs. Open up command prompt, and we're going to use this command. Now what that does is it copies all the tracks and it renames them to the correct SLS. So what you'll do is you'll copy that, paste it in here, and we can just delete everything else. Now this folder called 044, this has common files. This is an LE code feature. Now you need to make sure that with your custom tracks you check that it includes this. So this is for GCN Mushroom City. So we'll go into the Revolution folder and open up this XML. This is how we patch the game's files. Now, with this tutorial, we'll be using TZ Loader. Now, what that does is it allows us to only need one XML, and it can heavily reduce the file size. Now, section name is this is for a Revolution. So obviously you want that to be your pack. Option name, that's for all the different options, and choice name is by default everything will be on disabled, and then when you want to go through your choice names, this is how we patch things. Now, if you have multiple choice, like of these choice names, this will mean it will only patch whatever's on it. This is how we can have different game modes by having multiple of these. Now, here is how we patch individual files. We go in the file disk and we redirect it to an SLS. If you want to patch an entire folder, all you really need to do is folder disk, the folder area, and this is where we send it to on the SD card. Now here is the video files. This is just a blank video file as needed. And here, this is how we do online patching. And this is also how we use the TC loader, which is provided. Now here is the regions. This is important because this value is the region number. Keep in mind this value is in hexadecimal, so whenever you apply for a region, make sure you open up a hexadecimal calculator to calculate the value, or it'll convert the value from decimal into hexadecimal. Yeah, that's really it when it comes to XML. Now in this boot folder, this has all the bins that we need. I don't have a cave bin, but I will provide a Korean bin in the description below. And this English.sls, this just customizes the abstract screen. This is completely optional, unlike with CC code where that was completely mandatory. Another thing, here is just some GCTs. This is how we load up our custom codes. So if you go back into the XML, this is how we also load our codes as well. And this folder, this is how we load comment files. So what you have to do is you do -race -comment and the track's ID. If you want to load, if any tracks have like common files in them, you have to extract the common files from the SLS, put them somewhere, and have the XML direct it to those common files. If you want to make sure that this is just to make sure it works. The track works the way the author intended it to. Lastly, we are going to look at LPAR files. This is kind of a new thing with LE code. So what we'll do is we'll create an LPAR text file. So what we'll do is open up command prompt, and we'll just create an LPAR text file. So this is quite important for customization. So to start here, cheat mode, this just supports cheat codes. I'd recommend setting that to 0. Engine, this is the engine definition for online. So 100cc, so this is 100cc, 150cc, and mirror. So LE code by default has it set to 10% for 100, 60% for 150, and 30% for mirror. You can obviously set this to any value that you want between 0 and 100. If you set all three of these to 0, it will use Nintendo's VR-based choice. Enable 200cc. This has not been implemented yet, so I would just ignore that. Pref monitor. This is just a performance monitor. This is not needed. Custom TT. I would set this to 1 if you want your if you want players to time trial custom tracks. Elite Code by default has ghost block in, so you won't have to worry about it. XP flags, this is for extended present flags. Always keep it on. Block tracks. This is to define the number of races that a previously used track is blocked. So basically, if you choose a track like Mushroom City, it picks that track. You could set a number between 0 and 50 as to how many races it will not be chosen. Speedometer, this is just to enable the speedometer. Debug mode, I would just leave that off. Item sheet, make sure you keep that off. Draggable blue shells, you can set that to 1 if you want draggable blue shells, or off. And here is how we can define the thundercloud time. Define the time in frames a player is small after being struck by a TC. Only values between 1 and 32,767 are accepted. MKWii uses 612 frames or 10.2 seconds, and Elico's default is 5 seconds or 300 frames. Its Mario Kart Wii runs at 60 frames per second. And here is the chat message modes. This is basically Elico's version of host room settings. So like in CGP, if you go into the settings and change the host room settings, this is how Elicode does it. It does it using the friend room settings. And this is how we can use it. So it uses the message, and you will have to copy this if you want a specific feature to be turned on or off. So we got like this is just host always wins vote, and then this will cancel it. This will clear the blocked track list. So if the friend room stays open for a while, the block track list will keep going unless the host clears it with, if you want to set this up. Disable will disable block track functionality, and enable will enable it. Carts only will make it so that players can only select carts. You got bikes only, and then cancel in it. Use engine 1. This is just the engine class that you want to use. So like this is 100cc, 150, mirror, or you cancel it. And then chat and races, this defines the number of races in the GP between 1 and 512. And then chat vehicle, this makes it so that you can define what vehicles can be used. Can you use lightweight, medium, large, any size, or from the group cart, bike, any type. Any resets the limitations, and then chat reset will reset every single setting. Yeah, that's really it when it comes to LPARs. That's all you really need to know. So once you have gone through everything that you want in the LPAR, you would save it, and then you'll just patch the Elicode bin. Like so. This LECT patch, the bin, that's just LPAR, and the LPAR.txt. And now it has the LPAR. So that's really it that you need to know when it comes to distribution making. So now what I'll do is just copy everything into the track pack, and then we'll boot up we'll boot it up on Revolution. So now that I'm on Revolution, I'll show you that it does appear. Now, if you want my stuff, I'll just show you on screen how you'd set it up. It's basically you just have another option with my stuff. you have the choice name. You have the either the choice or the section name be enabled, and then direct you just direct the XML to the My Stuff folder if you want My Stuff enabled. So yeah, here I've just got a custom strap screen. I just borrowed it from my test pack. And I've got a custom tile screen. If you want to make a custom tile screen, all you really need to do is to use Rawbox and just replace the images. Now I'll show on time trials. Another thing, this is the Weem Cup. It doesn't have any text because I haven't set it up correctly. On screen will be the IDs for these 4 messages, because I forgot to say that before. And also, if you want custom cup icons, then you have to modify a file known as CT icons. Each cup icon is 128 by 128. So if we load up Mushroom City, it loads up Mushroom City, and yeah, it's all working. Yeah, if you have any questions on how to make a CT pack, if you've got any problems, please let me know in the comments section below. So yeah, hope you enjoy making your own CT packs.